its overuse is considered a mental disorder. What do you think I'm talking about? Cell phones. Good one. Wrong one. At least from my notes here, okay? Chocolate. Very, very close. Let's just go with it. Caffeine. Caffeine, brothers and sisters. Caffeine, where can you find caffeine? You can find it in drinks. You can find it in foods. You can even find it in soap. And you know where else you can find caffeine? You can even find caffeine in medicine. So caffeine is around. And here's the thing. There are benefits of caffeine use, and there are disadvantages of caffeine use. What are some of the benefits of caffeine use? I need to hear from folk. It's good for the brain? Okay. It can stimulate the brain. Okay. What else? What's another benefit of caffeine? Helps asthma patients. Okay. Oh, even babies, failure to thrive. They've actually been able to use caffeine to help them to gain stimulation and begin movement, proper movement. Now, are there some disadvantages to caffeine use? Dehydration. Okay. Another disadvantage is it actually robs you of your energy. Okay. Long term. Another thing is it blocks iron absorption. Okay. And it can also become an irritant. It can cause you to become agitated. Here's another thing. Remember I talked about the second thing about caffeine? And that is it can become addictive. Okay? And I want to ask you this. When we think about caffeine overuse, when we think about caffeine addiction, how can you determine if you're using too much caffeine? How can you determine if you have an addiction to caffeine? Well, let me ask you this. How can you determine if you're an alcoholic? It's the same thing. According to this research that I heard. You know if you're an alcoholic if you drink more than your doctor. Okay? And unfortunately, sometimes people will say, oh, you're fine, you're not addicted because you're not drinking as much as I am. You know? Here's the thing as far as caffeine and caffeine addiction. What we're talking about more than anything is we're talking about caffeine use in the way of coffee, tea, or something like that. Whether you're talking about black tea, white tea, Kai tea, or chai tea, guess what? It's still caffeine, and it still has some bad effects on the body, okay? Especially with the way the vast majority of Americans are using caffeine. So let's talk about some alternatives. You guys ever heard of Piro before? It's just a beverage, you know, and here's another one. It's called Bueno Coffee Substituto. It doesn't say substituto, but anyway. But it is called Bueno, okay? Another thing is we have Cafix. Here you go. Carob powder. Anybody ever use Carob powder? Okay, you use Carob powder. How is it to use? Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, that can be used, like, let's say if you're baking something. Very, very good. Also, some of these things, guys, the reason why there's so many different types of products out there is because some of these products that you try, you'll be like, oh, mercy, no. Just to be completely honest, you know. And then some of the products you'll try, you'll be like, wow, this is on point, okay? So the thing is, basically, try to find something that really does work for you, amen? And something that, all in all, will be like 3 John 2. We'll be in line with the theme of 3 John 2, which is what? Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. Amen?